That's what I'm saying. The permits that were approved were only for 100 people tops, and socially distanced that.
Yeah, but how many people showed up?
About 2,500 to 3,000.
Whoa. Ye gods, man.
Complete disregard of those CDC guidelines.
So what you're saying is, they had this concert at Thompson Square Park. These are bands that you know and follow. 3,000 people show up, but there's no guidelines, there's no masks, there's not even any social distancing. It's just a bunch of people spewing all over the place. Now, their reason for this is because they're protesting. But what are they protesting? Nobody knows.
Pretty much, yeah, basically. The New York Parks Department have already been investigating into this, dude. All permits from the same promoter have been pulled for the rest of the summer, starting at a follow-up show that was scheduled for May 8th. And that's the funny thing, dude. This whole thing was categorized as a September 11th memorial, okay? This whole thing was a fundraiser.
Well, it has been 20 years.
Yeah, so they told the city they were going to do one thing, and then they do something completely different.
Any arrests?
Doesn't look like it. But the big issue here is how unapologetic these bands have been about the entire thing.
Well, it's not the first time that rock stars have behaved inappropriately.
Well, it's deeper than that.
How so?
Well, you know, we aren't talking about Axl Rose getting lit and punching some sap in the face in 1989. And we're not even talking about Skid Row, you know, destroying a dressing room.
Oh, how I miss those days.
Yeah, this isn't even a Chris Brown incident with a chair.
Exactly. And you know, I hate knockoff vintage artists. If you want to listen to MJ, just listen to MJ.
Yeah, this is from the DIY side of things, right?
Tell me how.
Well, this is American hardcore, right? This is Madball, Murphy's Law. All right, these are guys from their community singing to their community about their community. You know, it's like I said before, this whole thing was a fundraiser for burn victims.
Well, and how much bread did they pull in for that?
About $6,000.
And what's that compared to having to go to the hospital and all those costs?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Look at exactly how much you're going to have to pay for a visit during COVID.
We're talking a selenium drip, that's $10K.
You got food, medical supplies, an oxygen tank.
We're not even talking about you, the concert goer, getting sick either.
Yeah, exactly. It could be your grandpa, your Theo, your little niece that has to go to the hospital every time it gets cold.
Yeah, exactly. You know, these bands are acting like they're resisting orders from the Third Reich, when in actuality, they're just ignoring simple guidelines put in place to keep us all safe, to keep us all healthy.
And I bet the fans look up to them, right?
Yeah, and it's not exactly like the media has been kind to Hispanic men over the last few years.
Don't I know that?
Well, you know, if Trump wasn't talking shit about Latin Americans for the last 5 years, you still have movies associating every country south of the border with what? Drugs, with lawlessness, with debauchery, and that weird yellow tint in the color grade. You know, if action stars aren't shooting up Middle Eastern people, who are they trying to kill?
We're going after those darn drug runners in Tijuana, El Salvador, Colombia, that's who.
That's my point. And now Freddie Madball has a Cuban mother and a Colombian father. That dude was born Freddie Lafian Christian. Madball's bassist, Hoyrock? That dude's first name is Jorge. You know, and I know I look white, but I was still born of a Hispanic father that was non-existent. So I was looking up to Madball ever since I was a teenager. And, you know, the rarity in finding these figures for Hispanic children can't be stressed enough, and it should be the opposite. You know, there should be plenty of role models around for Hispanic sons and Hispanic daughters. You know, and now these heroes of mine are saying fuck the CDC with their actions. How is that going to influence that 18-year-old listening to them to go get the vaccine before they go to college, or before he even visits his grandparents? You know, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. These aren't the actions of heroes. You're putting on a show during the throes of a pandemic. It's way too self-serving. You've lost these men as heroes as far as I'm concerned. How's that drink coming?
2 minutes Turkish.
Waiting.
So, you think that everything is just gonna go back to normal?
Define normal. If the crumbling of our social infrastructure is normal, well, I guess we're on the right path.
Climate change.
Pestilence ravaging the land. Economic inequality. It's business as usual. But does it have to be, though?
Well, what's the alternative?
Destruction. Tearing everything down and then building it back up again.
How? I'm out of shape and you're no terrorist.
Black magic.
Oh, you mean hocus pocus?
Au contraire, mon frere. I bring you ancient words from a time long forgotten. Are you familiar with the lesser key of King Solomon?
Can't say that I am.
But you do know that King Solomon was the one who built the first temple, right?
That's a no for me, bud.
And I thought you were a man of scripture. Sure. King Solomon was King David's son. Some say he was a powerful sorcerer capable of summoning demons from the old world. The help of a sacred ring. Powerful demons that could move and temper mountains to their liking, creating boulders so big that no man could shift them. While others taught him the art of mathematics, alchemy, and blood magic.
Fascinating.
The Lesser Key of King Solomon is a 400-year-old compendium of magic spells, including King Solomon's secrets from beyond this realm.
If you say so.
I have been looking for portents, signs in the stars. And I think it is important that we begin to open, well, doors.
Like this?
Yes. Come. I have much to show you.
Wow. You really worked on the ambiance here, bud.
The space must be welcoming if we are to entertain guests from another realm.
Yeah, and what's going to happen when they show up? Is this going to be like blue light and a Terminator-style entrance, or are you going to start speaking in tongues?
We say the words, we offer thanks, and then we wait for a reply.
Oh, God, please don't tell me you're going to be speaking in Latin.
These words are thousands of years old.
Latin is a cheap literary device that modern authors use to validate their absurd works about the Dark Lord.
There are many who dwell in the shadows. just a man with horns and hooves.
Mm-hmm. And what good will this do once you get this magic door open?
Once the door is open, the visitors will have free reign to all of the worst that this land has to offer. The evil will consume each other, weed one another out. Now, all we have to do is wait and watch until the slate is wiped clean.
Uh-huh. And who do they know to go after? Did they do a tour already? Did they make a list? Can they peer into your soul?
They follow their own set of rules. But as the destroyer of cities, so too can they be compelled to build.
And you can control them, right?
Well, I mean,
It's a yes or no, buddy.
I think.
Nick, give me a yes or give me a no.
Yes, I think I can. Yeah, I can. Yes, I can. I can.
Well then, old song. Let's start opening doors, huh?
To keep everything contained, baby. Ziga Shuba na Aksi Shaman Ziga.
Riveting.
Well, I think I might have mispronounced something. Just give me a minute.
Zidindir kia kaupa.
Yeah, I can really tell the difference that time.
I know I did everything right. I did it exactly as the chart said to.
Well, if you need extra pictures, I can draw you some more. I have authority here as well.
Nemza ya inia alure eskaaki.
Nemsa yaini alure asaraki.
Yeah. Well, I brought season 4 of Game of Thrones with me. Hey, how about we watch some Pascal? Hey, Nick, are those guys? Are those red eyes?
Nemsa yaini alure asaraki.